A few weeks ago, I made a few videos about ISRO's fake space achievements. After India launched 2 satellites and claimed to complete space docking, I immediately expressed serious doubts. I pointed out that India did not provide enough evidence in its past so-called Mars exploration and lunar South Pole landing missions. In particular, its lunar landing mission did not provide any convincing videos or photos at all, and claimed through animation that India became the first country in human history to soft land a probe on the lunar South Pole. Moreover, Chinese experts pointed out that the landing site announced by ISRO was inconsistent with the orbit it provided, and its landing site could not be near the lunar South Pole. Amid widespread doubts, the people of the Bharat Empire still celebrated wildly. So, when I predicted in advance that ISRO would not be able to successfully complete space docking, I was attacked wildly by the people of the Bharat Empire. After several weeks of delay, ISRO announced that the docking was successful, but they looked depressed in front of the camera, and there was no joy after success. Despite this, a large number of Indian netizens still left messages on my channel, mocking my failed prediction. So I made another video, pointing out that ISRO did not provide any evidence at all. Even a clear video or a few clear photos can prove that they have completed the space docking. However, under the strong request of the majority of netizens, ISRO still did not produce any evidence, but only provided a docking simulation animation. I think people with normal IQ know that the Indians are faking it again, and ISRO has tarnished the cause of space exploration. In my video, I also pointed out that the Indians will not succeed in any difficult space project that is easy to verify. Because in the long run, their so-called space missions are all based on fraud, and there is no so-called breakthrough at all. For example, I predict that in 2025, the Indian manned space mission, which has been delayed many times, will still not be successfully implemented. Don't look at Modi's bragging early. Even the astronauts have been selected. ISRO is very clear about India's true strength. The rash launch, without sufficient verification of the safety and reliability of the spacecraft, is undoubtedly broadcasting the space funeral of the Indian astronauts to the world. I said that Indians can brag, but they cannot endanger the lives of astronauts, and they should stop when they are satisfied. However, I was quickly labeled as racist by Indian netizens, who disrespected ISRO, which has made many achievements despite tight funding. I find Indians' logic incomprehensible. Is low funding a reasonable reason for ISRO to falsify? With low funding, you can do fewer projects, steadily advance, and develop in the long term. Why falsify? ISRO falsified because of lack of funding. India's huge telecommunications fraud business, widespread contract fraud by Indians in commercial activities, and various extortions of foreign-funded enterprises by the Indian government. What is the reason? For a country, dishonesty is not a shame, but a common phenomenon. Isn't such a country a shame for human civilization? Perhaps your values as Indians are completely different from those of other countries. But please close the door, entertain yourself, and don't brag and deceive people from other countries. However, I have to admire my persistence. When I responded to Bharat's fans, I pointed out that ISRO dared not produce fake photos and videos. Because falsification in low Earth orbit can be easily identified by other countries, which will be more embarrassing. I predict that ISRO will wait until the heat subsides before admitting that the project progress has not met expectations. As expected, ISRO announced that the 2 satellites were locked after docking and could not be separated again, and tested the next docking. This is simply treating netizens as pigs and insulting the IQ of the media around the world. The 2 satellites are locked and cannot be separated. The camera should work normally. Please take a video for everyone to see. The root cause is ISRO did not achieve space docking. The quality of the satellites is unreliable, and it has gone out of control. So there are no videos, no photos, and no next docking. With such technical reliability, Indians dare to dream of manned spaceflight? Strangely, at this time, There is no fan of Bharat Empire coming to my channel to apologize to me and admit ISRO's shamelessness and their ignorance. I made a video to criticize ISRO, actually for the good of India. Because if this group of corrupt bureaucrats continue to brag, they will have to really send astronauts into space. In the past space missions of India, the safety and reliability of the spacecraft have not been verified. Even in the simplest animal experiments, ISRO has not provided enough evidence. If India conducts a manned space mission, it must carry a reliable camera and announce the entire process to the world. This is difficult for ISRO, which cannot provide videos of satellite docking. In addition, independent manned spaceflight is a near-Earth activity, and the objects are bigger than satellite docking. If India fakes it, it will be easily exposed. Therefore, in the remaining 10 months of 2025, Indians have too much work to do. Any error in any link will lead to a huge tragedy. Even space powers such as the United States and Russia cannot avoid space accidents. But at least, astronauts should not be allowed to go to space when they know that the risk is high. The former Soviet Union once had a tragedy of insufficient technical verification and forced launch, which led to the death of astronauts. Now it is the 21st century, and Indians should not let innocent astronauts die in space for bragging. If Modi, BJP, and ISRO bureaucrats need vanity, let them take ISRO spacecraft to space, which can better demonstrate the maturity and strength of Bharat Empire technology. Those Bharat netizens who say that I am jealous of India's achievements in space, I also have a few words of truth to say to you. In today's space race, China is at the forefront of the world. Only the United States can compete with China, and even Russia has fallen behind. Even if India succeeds in manned space flight, it is only what China achieved more than 20 years ago. Do I need to be jealous of the Bharat Empire for this? You live in the dirtiest environment in the world, with the largest number of illiterate people and extremely poor people in the world. Compared with China, which has perfect infrastructure and beautiful environment, what is there for me to be jealous of? When I showed off my entry-level BYD on X, Bill Gates reminded me that my car was not worth showing off. So I attacked Bill Gates crazily, saying that he envied me for driving a good car. Bill Gates fell silent and ignored my posts, while I claimed that Bill Gates was at a loss for words and admitted defeat to me. I criticized ISRO purely out of conscience. I couldn't stand a fake organization deceiving the world and tarnishing the space industry. Is this a mistake? To be honest, my predictions have basically all been verified, and I can't get excited even if I slap you in the face. If you are not convinced, wait until the last day of 2025 to watch my video, and we will verify each other's remarks to see who is bragging and who is embarrassing. Finally, let's look at ISRO's 2025 Young Scientist Recruitment poster. I want to say, you should not recruit scientists, but recruit some qualified animators first to make decent animations. Look at your animations simulating moon landing and satellite docking. They are not as good as those made by Chinese high school students. Don't you feel ashamed? If you fake space missions again, such as landing on the sun, you might as well outsource the animation production to me. I will go to a training institution to find some students to make it, and it will definitely be much more advanced than your current animation. For such a big country, even the fakery is so inferior, isn't it shameful?